Welcome back to the channel. We're sitting here at Unstable HQ. We're going to go ahead and data log this 2003 Mach 1 with a turbo on it. We're using our SCT X4 handheld and using the LiveLink Gen 2 software on our laptop here. So if you've never done this before, the reason you'd want to do this would be to see what's actually going on with your car. You might have a ton of gauges in your car, but they're not reading what your O2s are doing as far as voltage is concerned and things like that. So we're going to go ahead and check out all those parameters. We're going to go through which ones you want to select and all that good stuff. And it might be something where you're also data logging for your tuner. They're going to have certain parameters what they want covered. So we're going to go through that, and I'll kind of put up a screen as well to show you what you might be tuning for. But again, your tuner is ultimately going to be telling you what you're going to be doing. You won't be making changes to your tune with this typically unless you are a tuner yourself, which you can kind of modify things in your handheld, or if you actually have the software there yourself. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright, the very first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to make sure you have all your cords. You want to make sure you have a USB to mini USB data transfer cable. Not all cables can transmit data, so make sure you have that. And then we're going to go ahead and hook this USB port up, or excuse me, our OBD2 up down here. It's right above the gas pedal, and we're going to hook it up to the HDMI port on the SCT handheld. So now all that's good. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull up our LiveLink 2, which I have pulled up right here. And we're going to connect our USB port to the computer. You should recognize that sound. Once that sound triggers, it means it's actually hooked up. So then there's a variety of things pulled up here in LiveLink. The top one is going to say, I want to data log a vehicle. So these are the easy steps here. So you're going to click OK. And then it's going to say connect everything like we just did. Next, connect the OBD2. We already done that. Next, and then it's going to say turn your engine on. And you actually don't need to do that. You can just turn the accessories on, whatever you want to do. I just turn accessories on typically. So you're going to click next, and you're going to check the communication. So by turning the key on, you hear the fuel pumps initiate. You click check communication. And it does take a while to kind of recognize everything going on. And then everything should pop up here for the type of handheld you have and what's going on with that. So my vehicle info. Now mine's already set up for the Ford version here, so we're good there. And now we're going to select items. Alright, so once all these files have loaded, these are the parameters of which you can test for. And you can see there's quite a lot of parameters, and your tuner will typically identify which ones they want you to choose. And there's going to be orange files and blue files, and the orange files are typically the ones that tuners do not want you to use. They want you to use the blue ones, which are the PID files. So typically there'll be like different areas for the long-term, short-term field trims where you can actually choose a PID versus this DMR file. So let's say you want to choose this one here. You're just going to check the boxes. So you're going to go through the list that the tuner. Thanks, buddy. You're going to go through the list that your tuner has given you, and I'll post one up, which a screenshot of what it looks like, and we'll go ahead and configure data log. So once you have that, let's say you checked everything you need, you're going to click configure data log, and now it's going to take you to this screen here. Now you're pretty much golden at this point in time. Everything's all hooked up. You're in the car. All you have to do is turn the key on, start the ignition, and then you're going to go ahead and click this green button right here. That green button is going to be starting the data log, and where you'll start seeing the graphs of what is going on with all the parameters you have selected. Now once that's over with, you're going to go ahead and just click the red button there. And after it's done, you just click File, Save, and that's just about it. So we're going to go ahead and actually go through it now with my car. The cicadas are about ready to come out, and those are those little noisy-ass things we have here in Iowa, so I do apologize if the video quality towards the end isn't very good. But you can kind of hear them popping out right now, so I think they're going to get a lot more noisy. But, yeah, let's go for a ride. Obviously in a car, you have all your gauges down here. This is picking up things that they can't read, such as like O2 volts, your MAF counts. These are really important things when it comes to a tuner. So it's really key to have those things working. So we know what your O2s are doing. We know that your MAF signal's clean. And there's tricks of the trade to kind of clean that math signal up. There's screen straighteners. I've used just aluminum screen for like a window. That seems to work really well. I can kind of show you a before and after, but right now we're just making sure drivability is good on this car, and it seems to be doing really, really well. Everything's holding up really great. So for your concerns, you're not really concerned what the computer is doing. That's going to be the tuner himself or herself. So all these little dials here. Alright, so now that you've finished your data logging, you're going to come in and you're just going to go ahead and hit this red button there, and that's going to stop all transmissions between the two. Alright, so you just finished your data log. What you're going to want to do is you're going to come up over here and click the red button. You're going to see all your parameters and all your stuff is all saved right there, but it's not going to go anywhere until you go to File, Save All. Save All is going to save all the parameters that we have done, and now you're going to see there that it pops up a data log file. So you could name it whatever you want. I'm just going to put warm idle and today's date. That way I know exactly what I had done, and I like to save mine to the desktop. I actually have a little folder, and this computer here is only used for this purpose. So once you have that done, you can go ahead and fire it off to your tuner or look at it yourself if you know what you're doing. But that is how you data log a car with an SCT X4. I'm sure the X3 is the same, and this was on an 03 Mach 1. The O2 convertible over there does the exact same thing. Alright guys, we just finished up data logging this 03 Mach 1. Hope it was very helpful. So we've saved the file, we've emailed it to our tuner, we're waiting to hear back. So let's say you're having issues even getting onto the SCT LiveLink software. A lot of times it gets hung up on the communication side of things where the handheld won't talk to the computer. There's two likely possibilities. The first one is that you need to install drivers and update the device software, and there's a separate thing on SCT's website which will help with that. It's the device updater. The second, and one I've run into 3 times now, is this cable. The cable directly from SCT, the OBD2 to the HDMI, is typically the complete shit. I've gone through 3 of them. Literally, you replace that and you'll be golden. Now, one thing I've noticed this with my cars is I've had math issues. So you might have a bend right before your math, or you might have something going on where the signal isn't super clean. And there's a few ways you can clean it up. The least expensive option is to go get yourself some aluminum screen. You just put this right in the tube before the mass airflow sensor. It's going to clean up that signal. I had a huge issue with my Mach 1 when I was tuning it, trying to get a clean signal so the tuner could actually tune it remotely. Another option would be to order a math screen. So when I had a 3-inch pipe, I actually used this screen, which I purchased for about 50 bucks. I'll have to put a link below where I purchased it from, but they shipped it right to the door. And it's about 1 inch thick, does the exact same thing. Actually, when I went to the 4-inch pipe from this 3-inch on the Mach 1, I've just been using this screen and it's been perfectly fine. So I hope you learned something today. If you have any other questions or maybe I missed something in the details, comment below and I'll make sure we get that fixed for you. Thank you.